And again, I'd like to welcome you all to our advanced tech training for today. We'll be covering how to update your iPad software to iPad OS 17.5. We read a disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior iPad program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health, well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information, any applications or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. To keep our meetings organized and avoid talking over each other, I ask that you use the raise hand feature. You can find this feature in the toolbar. Either during or at the end of our sessions, you have the opportunity to ask questions this week. So if you would like to raise your hand, you tap more at the top right of Zoom, and then you hit raise hand. Or if your Zoom has updated, you can then hit, yeah, wow. It looks like Zoom reverted back to the changes because my Zoom, remember how it looked last week? Now it's back to the regular Zoom. So hey, sometimes it happens. So if your Zoom still has if it has the new toolbar at the bottom, then you can hit reactions and then raise hand. But again, typically you tap more at the top right and then you tap raise hand. So again, can I get everyone in Zoom to please raise their hands again? So you're ready to learn, you're present, looking forward to a wonderful week and day. And again, I hope you all enjoyed the meditation today. Thank you. Wow, 15, that was really fast, you all. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Miss Maria. You can all lower your hands by hitting lower at the bottom. Okay. And it says your hand is raised, and then it says lower. Yeah. I guess Zoom was just doing a test. So hey, I don't mind either way. So again, don't forget to lower your hand. Again, once you've been called on to acknowledge, so we can make sure that everyone is able to get acknowledged. Okay. Thank you so much. And if you would like to use the chat is a great way to communicate non-verbally, to share a greeting, ask a question, send your congrats or encouragement, anything of that nature. So if you would like to send a chat, you go to Zoom and then you tap more at the top right, and then you can hit chat. Okay, the meeting chat comes up, and at the bottom it says tap here to chat. The keyboard should come up, and then you can then type in your message, okay? So you can send anything, just a simple hello, or hope you have a great day, happy Monday, things of that nature. So I'm gonna write hello. And then because, again, today is National Flower Day, everybody, I'm going to find some flower emojis, and I'm using the search feature in my emoji keyboard, and I'm gonna add all these lovely flowers. Okay, so yeah, just a simple hello, or with some emojis, or you could just share some emojis if you want to, etc. You can do so in the chat. You can even send a photo. If you look at the left-hand side next to tap here to chat, you can hit the plus sign and then hit photo, and then you can add any photo from your Photos app that you would like to share. So let me see if I can find some flowers. Here you go. I love this image. And you send it like a regular message. And if you want to save an image that you see, you can hold it and hit save image, but you can hold any chat in the Zoom chat and you can reply as well. So I'm gonna reply to Mr. Harold's message. Maybe I'll just put some exclamation marks just because I can. And it's a lot of fun. Oh, thank you so much for your gift, Miss Savon. That's so beautiful. I love purple. That's one of my favorite colors. And I love how it sparkles. Yeah, thank you for the flowers, you all. And it's National Flower Day. So thank you so much for participating and having fun. And then if you could share maybe some of the sessions that you look forward to this week and why, I would also appreciate that in Zoom. Okay, so more chat. And then I'm really looking forward to our new guest on Thursday from Mary's Center, very well-known place in DC. Great service, I must say. So I'm looking forward to that session and learning more about that program. Um, Whoever we have tomorrow, I love our Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's a lot of fun being able to showcase different things to you all. But our dance session on Friday, ooh, it's has a lot of great info, you all. And even if you're not a veteran, you can still take advantage of a lot of it in that session as well. But that's what we'll be talking about on Friday. So I look forward to that as well. Okay. So, anyways, again, I appreciate you all participating today, and let's get right into it. All right. So, iPad OS 17, again, OS means operating system. Okay. So that's how the iPad operates. iPad OS 17 came out last fall. So around October, November of last year. So that's when an upgrade comes out. That's why it's just 17, right? That number right there indicates the upgrade that you have. So we all should have iPad OS 17 in some capacity on our devices. Okay, and this coming fall, October, November, we should have iPad OS 18. If you have an iPhone, we should have iOS 18 as well around that time. So look forward to a preview as soon as that event comes out, okay? But for now, we're still on iPadOS 17, which gives you powerful new ways to do more than ever, like new levels of personalization, beautiful or custom lock screens, additional features, new apps, and more, okay? Because every month or so, month, 2 months, we have an update come out. That's where the point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, point 5 come from, right? So we are learning about iPad OS 17.5 today, okay? So first up, just again, some background information. An operating system is the most important software that runs on a computer, okay? It manages the computer's memory and processes. So the storage and the different day-to-day uses of the device. It manages software and hardware. Software are the applications and actual things of that nature on your iPad. The interface, overlay, all things of the nature. And hardware is the actual components of, or the actual physical parts of the device. So think of all the metal and the screws and the circuits and all that stuff. So all that hardware, okay? Basically, the operating system manages both because you need the hardware and the software to fully operate the device. It also allows you to communicate with the computer without knowing how to speak the computer's language. There are many, many different languages that are used to create applications and processes and things of that nature that can get very, very complicated. But luckily for us, those folks that code and create these systems and devices, they allow us to use functions or with our hands and with their voice as well that just make sense. So when we hit like a button, we don't have to know how that button works. We just know that it works in a way, right? So how does an app download? Hey, I don't know the specific processes that makes an app download, but we know because it downloads, we can utilize it. So we don't have to think about those things. So, devices and technology, from just a user standpoint, is a lot easier than we may think it is. And if you think it's easy, then it's going to be easy in a way, because it could be a lot worse that we would have to input different things to do different functions. So I really appreciate that. So without an operating system, a computer is useless. Like the brain, if we didn't have a brain, then we wouldn't be functioning, right? So we got to make sure, just like our brains, we keep it in tip-top shape, which is what we're learning how to do today. Okay, so again, the operating system, or OS, manages all of the software and hardware on the computer. Most of the time, there are several different computer programs running at the same time, and they all need to access your computer's CPU, central processing unit, memory, and storage. So yes, right now I'm on Zoom, but I'm also doing my slides, but I'm also utilizing my mic. My Bluetooth is used, my wireless headphones, right? Me having a slide, so all of that is being run through the operating system. Same thing on my computer. It allows me to have Zoom up and my other devices and my browser and this page and that page allows me to do this and that. So because again of the operating system, we can do that. It coordinates all of this to make sure each program gets what it needs because some applications may require more things than other programs, right? A simple text app is not going to need as much of anything from the operating system versus a full-fledged out 3D game with voices and sound effects and things of that nature. So we got to keep that in mind, right? So Zoom and when we're on Zoom or maybe watching YouTube videos or streaming videos or playing certain games or even running certain applications can take up more battery in a way than others because it may require more things to utilize. Okay, so just try to keep that in mind. Okay. Updating your operating system is important, very, very important. You may get some notifications and things in nature saying that, hey, your iPad is ready to update or it's out of date. And sometimes it does happen like right in the middle of you doing something. The latest update, I was working or doing some kind of work on my iPad or getting something done and it came up. So, I was like, wow, it had to happen right here. But I realized that it needs to get done. So, I able to get that process through because I know of the importance of updating your device. So every time you see a notification about, the updates available or the upgrades available, make sure you confirm that in settings to see if your iPad really needs an update and you'll go from there. Okay. So again, these iOS updates, these updates from Apple have security patches that cover security holes and keep the hackers out of the network. But I will say again, Apple products are very, very good in regards to security. I've not had one security issue related to Apple and the operating system and things of that nature. So I feel very secure of having certain information on on the devices because I know they're safe with the encryption and things of that nature that these updates can have. These updates can also have new or improved features as well as compatibility with various devices or applications. So again, every update or upgrade, there could be a new app or a new feature or a new compatibility that's put onto the device. So it's also important so you can take it to update your iPad to get access to those different capabilities, okay? So again, these updates are not designed to ruin our lives. In fact, they're designed to make our computers and devices safer and keep hackers from exploiting vulnerable spots. These updates can fix the code that allows hackers to install damaging malware on our computers or delete important files. The things that you've been so busy working on that you think that you don't have time to update your iPad, those are at risk if you decide to ignore that reminder, okay? The update, we'll talk about how long it takes, but it's pretty simple. If you physically update your iPad, it just takes a click or two. And if you set it up, it's not correctly, it's not right or wrong to have it automatically update, but it is a little easier and you don't even have to hit a button sometimes in order to do that, okay? Updating your iPad, 5, 10, 15 minutes. Upgrading your iPad, so when iPad OS 18 comes out, it may take about 20 to 30 to 40 minutes because it is a bigger upgrade, right? So try to keep that in mind. But again, 10 minutes, hey, I can, clean something or, do something for 10 minutes while that process occurs, okay? So it doesn't take too long. And again, there are many, many benefits of updating your device. You may see something called a rapid security response. They haven't come out in a minute, but they may. So again, if you see it, you'll know what it means. A rapid security responses are a new type of software release for Apple devices. They deliver important security improvements between updates, like improvements to the Safari web browser, other critical system libraries, and they may also be used to mitigate some security issues more quickly, such as issues that might have been exploited or reported to exist in the wild. In the wild is just the Apple user community, right? Apple has ways to contact them and to let them know about different things that go on, like, hey, this happened such and such and such. So when they get it, they can release, if it's something urgent, something called a rapid security response. These started in iPad OS 16.4, and then you'll see point one, and you may see a letter afterwards, right? So 16.4, there could be a point one. That's not the actual rapid security response. You may see where it has a letter, like the one I remember, it had a letter A next to it. So it's 16.4.1A in parentheses. So it's been a while since these come out, but again, if you see it, then you'll know, that it is important to update, especially for those, because those are very small. I would say that would take about 5 minutes if these ever came up on your screen, because they're pretty small but significant update. Okay. So before we actually update our device, it would be nice to have a backup of your information, right? Or a backup of what to do in case something goes wrong with the update, but also if in case your device is ever needs to be replaced or lost or damaged or other things that are not so good, right? So it's good, I've never had an update issue. Um, any Apple products. I mean, with the 10 plus years that I've used an iPhone or an iPad, I haven't had any issues with updating my device. But you never know what may happen, right? So it's always good to have a backup in case, again, something goes wrong, or especially if you lose or need to replace or damage your device. iCloud backups include nearly all the data and settings that are stored on your device and like on your apps, right? So iCloud backups don't actually store the actual apps that are on your device. It stores the data on those apps, like iCloud, contacts, calendars, notes, photos, messages, voice memos, texts, like iMessages, health data stored in other servers like Gmail, Apple Mail data, Apple Pay data, biometric data. So a lot of data is actually stored in the iCloud backup that are essential for, a lot of uses, especially calendars, notes, and, everyday stuff that is utilized. So again, it's really, I recommend that you back up your iPad at least once a month if it doesn't do it automatically. So it's always good to check. So at least once a month for our folks that use, their iPads every day. I certainly use my iPad every day. About every 2 weeks or so, I check to see if there is a backup. Most of the time it's done automatically, which is really convenient. So again, we're going to first learn how to back up your device. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do is go to settings on your device, and you are going to tap on iCloud on the right-hand side. So again, if I go to settings on my device and I tap on my name, okay, so first settings, then you tap on your name, because this is all of your Apple ID, your iCloud stuff, okay? So you all can follow along as well in order to back up your device, okay? So you go to settings on your iPad, and then you tap on your name. On the right-hand side, you are going to hit iCloud, okay? Because again, we're trying to do a backup, so we're gonna hit iCloud, okay? And in this section, of course, you can see which apps are using iCloud. So I would hit show all, and then I would just see through all that, any apps that you want to make sure that are backed up, make sure those are on the right-hand side, whether it actually says on or off, or if you have the slider. So, those apps that you want to save the data for, in case something goes wrong, you go in that section. But what we're going to go through is iCloud backup. Okay, so again, you go to settings, you hit your name, you hit iCloud, and then you tap on iCloud backup. Okay, and it says iCloud backup, automatically backup your iPad, so you can restore your data if you lose your device or get a new one. Make sure backup this iPad is on, as you can see by the green slider, and then it says backup now. So it says the last successful backup was yesterday at 12:47. So I did not physically do that backup because again, I was connected to Wi-Fi. I was that things of that nature. It sometimes it does it automatically, especially if your iPad is plugged in as well. So if it's plugged in and you're connected to Wi-Fi, then it does it automatically. But it's always good to check to see if you did it. But I'm gonna hit backup now. Okay, when you hit backup now in blue, it starts the backup. It takes 1-2 minutes. It's very, very fast, and I have a lot of data that I store there. So even while you do that, you can do other things while it backs up, which I think is also pretty convenient. We're going to go to how to update your device in a second, which is found in general, and then here on software update on the right hand side. But again, that was, if I go back here to my name, and then I hit iCloud, oops, 1 second. I'm going to hit iCloud, okay. And then if you notice, again, iCloud backup, it says about 1 minute remaining. So it's very, very fast. Alrighty now. And again, you don't have to be in this section while you do it. You can just simply go to an app or go to Zoom. I'm doing it while I'm Zoom right now. So it's pretty convenient. But I'm going to go back to the slides really quick. Just again, go over, you go to settings, then you tap on your name, and then you tap on iCloud. You hit iCloud backup here on the right-hand side, okay? And then you hit backup now. All right. So when you hit backup now, you'll see the bar. It says backing up, how much time is remaining. And then once it's done, you'll see the date and time of your last backup. So if I go to, last successful backup, 10:32 a.m., very simple to do. And now I know, again, my data is safe. Again, in case I lose my device, need to get a new one, or something goes wrong with the update, which again has not occurred, but it's always good to have a backup. But there you go. So that's how you back up your device. You can, again, make sure all of you all are connected to the internet because you all are on Zoom, which is again good. Go to settings, you tap on your name, and then you tap on iCloud. You tap iCloud backup, and then you tap on backup now, and you can look at the progress, and then you'll be able to see the date and time of your last backup. So if you've backed up your iPad, right now, or you can see that you've done it recently, please raise your hand in Zoom. Again, if you followed along, if you looked and made sure that you did a backup recently within, the past few days, again, please raise your hand in Zoom. Again, you can all do it right now while you're on Zoom, just to make sure that you get that process done. So again, you go to settings on your device, you go to your name, you hit iCloud, then you hit iCloud backup, and then you can see again your last successful backup, and you can physically back up your iPad at pretty much any time, if you want. But again, if you connect to Wi-Fi, if you have Wi-Fi in your home and you have it connected to your iPad, then it will do it automatically, as I showcased today. So far I see 7 hands. Really appreciate you all coming on and getting this process done. So 9 hands. And if you have backed up your iPad recently, or if you did it just now in our session, which you can do, which is really easy, one thing to take off your checklist for your iPad, please raise your hand in Zoom. So again, thank you. So far we have 10 hands. One thing I will say is backing up your iPad, if it says that you need to upgrade your iCloud storage, we all get 5 GB free from Apple for this iCloud storage. But after that 5 GB, again, I'll go showcase a video towards the end. You will need a iCloud Plus subscription. I would start off with the 50, I think, it's 50 gigabytes of iCloud storage for about 99 cents a month. And then if you need more than that, which it took me like years to do that, then you would go up to the next plan, the 200 gigabytes for that $2.99 a month. But again, that took me a while just to need that, okay? because it's very, very easy to utilize iCloud. If you do not utilize iCloud to back up, then you will need you'll need a computer to do so, and that just takes a lot of steps as well. So I do not want to do that myself using my computer to back up my data. I just want to, utilize the iCloud and use those, use that to back up my data. So again, we reached about 10 hands, so I really appreciate that. Hopefully others have also backed up their iPad, your iCloud, and making sure that that storage is set. So you all can lower your hands. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. So again, a backup allows you to copy and save the information from your iPhone or iPad, Apple device. If you replace the device, you can use a backup to transfer your information to a new device. So, hopefully, again, this does not happen to any of us. Well, that you lose your iPad. I would say like, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, something like that. iPads last a really long time. But, for your next iPad, if you can use a backup to simply transfer that information to a new device. When you open that new iPad, this is what your screen, eventually will look like. And you're going to want to hit the first option. Again, it says restore from iCloud backup. So that way you can then transfer your apps and data really seamlessly utilizing that feature. So, so that's what you'll see. So don't be surprised. Again, I hope no one has to, again, as of now, because again, our devices are still pretty, top of the market, new and things of that nature, has to do that. But just know that if you need to, that's why it's so important to remember your Apple ID information, okay? That way you're able to log into your Apple ID account, get access to your iCloud backup, and then you're able to, again, not start from nothing, but start with something, right? So again, Apple ID info, make sure you remember that info. Again, in case this situation happens, but in general, to download apps and confirm settings, you need to know your Apple ID information, okay? So in order to update your iPad, you're gonna first go to General, okay, on the left-hand side, and you are going to hit Software Update. That appears here in General, okay? So when you hit Software Update, you are going to see what it says, okay? Everyone's gonna say different. Hopefully all of us have, again, already have at least one version of iPad OS 17 on our devices. But this is what you see if you did not. This was taken last year, right before iPad OS 17 came out. This is what it had said, okay? I upgrade to iPad OS 17, okay? But either way, this is what you will see regardless. Whether it's an update or upgrade, you have the actual update or upgrade, and it tells you a little bit about the actual what is it installing. And you'll see where it says a download and install option. It may say install now if the software already downloaded on your device. So it may say something else, but you'll see this line of text in this box in order to confirm and get that process done, updating or upgrading your device. Okay, so follow any prompts that you see on the screen or you may see, and if you did not download it already, that the upgrade or update should already start downloading. Yep, your iPad will restart. Okay. Your screen will be black, and then you'll see the Apple logo, and then your iPad will then turn back on. So again, it downloads, your iPad restarts when it turns on, you'll be able to then utilize it. Okay, so we're gonna go to settings, and we are going to general here on the left-hand side, and then I'm going to hit software update on the right. So settings, general, software update, pretty simple. And if you see, it says iPad OS 17.5. That is the latest update. It came out a few days ago. So look, as long as it says iPad OS is up to date, you should be good to go. But what I did is when I did take that screenshot, I did take a photo. So let me go to my photos, and this is what it said, okay? So it says iPadOS 17.5. This update introduces a new Pride Radiance wallpaper for the lock screen, Apple News enhancements, and other features, bug fixes, and security updates for your iPad. Which I think is, again, really neat. Bug fixes, updates, features, Apple News improvements, a new wallpaper you can utilize, which I'm using right now. I love this wallpaper. I think it's really cool. So yeah, this is what you will see on your device. And it will, on for this, on my iPad, again, it says update now, or it said update tonight. So again, what you see on this screen may differ. So it's just important to look at the whole screen and see the different options available. So I had hit update now, and maybe enter in my Apple or my iPad passcode in order to get that done. And I didn't have enough storage on my iPad to actually update this, my iPad. So I had to go and delete a couple of apps or two in order to do that. But it was only 1, 2, 3 apps that I haven't utilized. We cover how the iPad storage in module 1. That's in our YouTube channel. Module 1 would be next Monday, but that's when Memorial Day is. So it'll be 2 weeks from Memorial Day. But when you get that done, you see it says about 6 minutes remaining. So it was downloading. My iPad restarted, and now I have this update on my device. Okay, so yeah, that is how you update your iPad. Again, you can when your iPad turns back on, you can go back to settings, and you can make sure to see if your iPad really did update. It did, but it's always good to check. And it says up to date. So again, you first, before you do an upgrade or update, I would back up your device, and then I would initiate that upgrade or update. Okay, so make sure your iPad is backed up, and make sure that your iPad is, that you have enough storage if it doesn't say that, and to go through the steps of updating your iPad. So before I take any question, well, who has updated to iPad OS 17.5? Please raise your hand in Zoom. If you go to settings and you go to general and then software update, does it say iPad OS 17.5? Does it say your iPad is up to date? Please raise your hand in Zoom. Okay. Wow, 5 hands already. I appreciate that. Again, if you've updated your iPad already, if you go, again, to settings, you go to general, you go to software update, and if it says iPad OS 17.5, then your iPad has updated fully to the latest update. So also, again, May, we have only a few months left until iPad OS 18. So of course, we'll be doing this session around the time that these updates and upgrades come out. So it's a good way to keep your stuff updated. So I appreciate that. Wow, 9 hands so far. Again, if you try to update now, while you're in Zoom, it will, kick you out. Your iPad will restart. So if you want to do it right afterwards, you can. So you can also, if you have updated your iPad, but if you plan on, again, backing up and updating your iPad right after the session, you can also raise your hand as well, if you want to stay on and listen to questions or things of that nature. But if you want to do that right now, you certainly can do that. Okay. I just got a direct message. Wasn't able to take a look at that through. Yes. If you're on the 5G data, you may not be able to update right then and here while you're on the call, because it just may not be enough reception to be able to do that. So yes, if you're not connected to Wi-Fi, you may have to do it when you're off the call. But again, if you plan on updating, or if you've already updated your iPad, please raise your hand in Zoom. Okay. But again, if you're only utilizing the data right now, you may not be able to update your iPad. You probably will be able to back up, but you may not be able to update because downloading it may be too big of a download to be able to do over the call and the data. Okay. So when you try to back up your device, if you get a screen saying it's unable to back up, please look at the iPad Plus information. This video talks about that a little bit and what different options that you have, and hopefully explains that as well.
If your iCloud storage is running low, there are a few things you can do to make room. We'll show you how to upgrade to iCloud Plus and share some tips on how to manage your storage. Let's see how to get more storage with iCloud Plus. In Settings, tap your name, and then tap iCloud. Here, you can see how much space you're using. If you want to subscribe to iCloud Plus, tap Manage Storage. Then tap Upgrade or Change Storage Plan, depending on your current iCloud usage. You can select the plan that's right for you and follow the.
Yep, so again, right here in the screenshot, I would start off with the 50 gigabytes, which is 99 cents a month, plus tax is about 129. And then again, it'll take, for me, it took a couple of years to do that, and I used my phone quite extensively when I first got it. Then I would upgrade to the 299 a month plan for that 200 gigabytes. And then that way, I have not used, it will probably take me like another 5, 10, 15 years, even just to scratch that, towards that 200. So keep that in mind. Again, it's a monthly subscription. Again, you have that data of it, even if you don't use all of it, because of course I didn't go immediately to 50 gigabytes of stuff on my iCloud. I had 10, then I had 15, then I had 20. So it was that dollar a month regardless. And then when I ran out of that, again, I'm like, I don't want to use my computer to back up my device. I just want to use my iPad. So, now I utilize that $299 a month. So that's about $329 with tax to have that 200 gigabyte storage available. So I use about half of that right now. So I have about 100 in my iCloud right now. That's a lot of stuff, a lot of photos and videos and things of that nature. So yeah, that is, again, how you get to this spot. You go to settings. So I'm gonna just go back. You go to settings.
Here, you can see how
and then you'll see how much space that you're using, and then you can manage the storage.
much space you're using. If you want to subscribe to iCloud Plus, tap Manage Storage.
Yep, and you may see that you may need to upgrade it, or it's saying it's almost full, things of that nature. And you'll get.
If you're new to iCloud Plus, you'll get new features like Private Relay, Hide My Email, and expanded HomeKit secure video support. You can also manage your iCloud.
Okay, so again, that's how you can then free up the iCloud storage on your device or add more. And then you can, again, go back to settings, and then you can tap on your name, and then you can then tap on iCloud. And then you can tap on, again, the apps that are using iCloud, and you can see which ones are. If they are, then they're using that storage. If they're not, then they won't be utilizing that storage available. Okay, so so yeah, just try to keep that in mind. And if you ever see that message, your iCloud storage is almost full, I would take a look at that iCloud Plus subscription and able to, again, follow the prompts and select which one that you would like to take advantage of, okay? So I appreciate that. Again, looking through my slides and chat. Thank you for that image. Happy Flowers Day. Thank you. Yeah, preparing updates. Again, I'm not, again, the call, maybe, utilizing some of the, the connection, things of that nature. So I'm sure it will go a little faster when you're off, or when we're off the Zoom as well. So sometimes it may take a second, but as long as it doesn't say you cannot update, or you cannot update, things of that nature. Sorry about that, you all. I accidentally hit a button. But again, thank you all for attending today's session so far. Again, updating your iPad and backing up your iPad as well. Does anybody have any questions about backing up your iPad, updating your iPad OS? Any questions on iCloud Plus? please raise your hand in Zoom. But again, also in the chat, again, if you could share, if you backed up your iPad, if you've updated your iPad, please share that in the chat as well. And I'd really appreciate that. Okay, no other questions. Yeah, the newer Zoom can, it's a little easier to navigate in some ways, especially the chat. You don't have to go to more and then hit chat. So in some ways, it's a little better. Each has their own strengths and weaknesses. Okay. Denise, you have a question about anything we covered today? How are you?
Hi, how are you? Yeah, I'm having that problem again, and I bought them gigabyte 200, and I try to upgrade it. Let me see what it was saying. It was saying, when I try to,
you have to make sure that so the iCloud Plus, that involves the backup and backing up your data. So that doesn't really have anything to do in a way with the update. The backups may store that update itself, but that 200 that's a lot of space,
I
Denise.
know,
So
and
you should.
it says unable to download, and it says more storage required. The update cannot be installed because it requires at least 6.54 gigabytes of available storage.
So that has to do with the actual storage on your device. So you have to, in module 1, we learn how to go to general, and then we learn how to go to iPad storage. So at this point, you have to go through your apps and see what you may need to delete, because when you download the updates or upgrade, a part of it is actually using the storage that is on your device, like the actual storage. So I would look through your iPad storage, Denise, and see what apps you may have not used or will not use, and delete those apps to be able to free up storage so you can download that update. Okay.
Because most of them that I do be using, and
and I can understand, and sometimes I know you have a little bit less storage than with the 7th gen iPad. So I would just see again which ones that you can potentially remove, things of that nature. But yes, I had even I had to do that with this latest update, because they do take up quite a bit of this actual updater of, especially the upgrade, will take quite a bit of storage. So I would just try to keep that in mind, and again, see any big videos or photos. But when you go into storage, it'll tell you what's what's using the most storage. So I would see what you can potentially remove or get rid of from that physical app. So I would try to check that out. Okay.
So if I take that particular app out, I can just put it back in after I update it.
Well, I mean, not necessarily. I mean, if you take away apps just for the update to be downloaded, then no, you won't be able to re-download them, because the storage, the new update or upgrade takes up that storage. So that's why you always leave about like 10 gigabytes, about 15 gigabytes of actual iPad storage on your device, so that way you can keep your updates coming. So what I will say, within a few years, it may be a little more difficult to do that, but it'll be a few years till that happens. So just try to keep that in mind. Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks.
No problem, Denise. I hope everything works out, and I hope you had a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
Next up is Anne. Again, how are you? You had a question about anything we covered today?
Hello?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. My thing that is still got a red thing on it, or just changed. Okay. When you purchase more storage, and you go back, can you update? I'm back tracking here on what you said to Denise. If you backtrack, can you put that app back on if you get more storage?
So there's a difference. So the iCloud storage, that's the online or cloud storage. What the update or upgrade, some of again this can be wrong, but it makes sense. The upgrade or update takes, it actually takes a part of the iPad storage because it's on your iPad, right? The iCloud backup, it stores the data on from your apps to the cloud. The actual iPad storage stores some data and the actual app itself, because some apps, well, all apps take up storage as well. That's why when you go to general and then iPad storage, you can either offload an app, which gets rid of the actual app that keeps the data and documents to your iCloud, or you can delete the app, which deletes the actual app and the data that's on the iPad. So if
So
it's
then you
saying
can't go back and purchase it again.
it depends again on if it took up any I so if you delete apps, just enough apps, if you try to update or upgrade your iPad and it's saying
Hmm.
there's not enough storage, that has to do with the actual apps on your device. So I would again go to general and then iPad storage, and then I would delete a few. Again, I deleted some of the higher storage apps, and then I was able to then download the update. So after when you download the update, now it's taking up that, taking up some or all of the storage that was used by the apps that you just deleted. So you may not all of them, but some of them you will be able to delete as long as your iPad has the storage available. So that's why, I recommend that, you go, once every month or 2 months or 3 months, that you just look through your iPad and see what apps that you're not using, or some apps that are taking up a lot of data, and see if you really need them on your iPad, and then you can then delete them if you need to. So um, those are,
Okay,
I hope that made
still a
sense.
little confused, but I'll figure it out. And if I don't, then I'll come back and ask you again.
All right, Anne, thanks so
Okay.
much. I appreciate
Yeah,
that.
I will go back and see what they're actually saying, and then I'll do that. I'll go back and see if there's something that I really, because a lot of it is a lot of my stuff that's on there are some games, and I like playing them because they relax me after the day, before in the evening, just to do simple little things.
Yeah, so I would not delete those. Just look at the ones that you don't use, and then you can see what you can do. So again, anything with the iPad storage, actual iPad, you go to general, then iPad storage. Anything to do with the data, or if you see your iCloud storage is almost full, that has to do with the iCloud Plus, which you can find in your name, then it's iCloud, and then you can see that information there, okay?
All right, dear. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No
I
problem,
guess
and you
my
have a
brain
wonderful.
is not cut fully popped up
No, it's
yet.
okay. No, you're good to go, man. It'll come. Okay.
Okay, dear. Thank you.
All right. You have a wonderful rest of your day.
You too. And thank you for
Mm-hmm.
your concern. I'm feeling much better.
Mm-hmm. No problem, man. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? But again, iCloud Plus has to do with the virtual storage, cloud storage, the data that is on the apps. Your iPad storage has some data and stuff of that nature. It also has the actual apps. Apps can take up a lot of storage, right? So I would just see, again, using what we learned in Module 1, again, how much iPad storage you have and how much iCloud storage you have, and make sure those things are taken care of so you can back up all the data that you want to back up, again, in case something goes wrong or need to replace your device, and make sure you update or upgrade your iPad to be able to get access to the latest features, security updates, new apps, customizations, things of that nature. But any other questions? Again, today we have our 1:30 p.m. session on Module 4, learning how to utilize some settings. We're going to go over settings and some applications like FaceTime and iMessage that are pretty useful on your iPad. So I really appreciate you all coming on to our session today. I'll see you all at 1:30 today and for the rest of the week as always. And I'm really looking forward to all of these sessions this week. And again, make sure you check out our YouTube channel for our most recently uploaded videos. Zion uploaded about 10 videos this morning. So if you get a chance to speak to her or thank her for the videos, because there are lots of great information, and it was a lot of fun conducting those with you all. Other than that, I hope you all have a great rest of your morning and the beginning of your afternoon. And again, I will see you all at 1:30 today. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you
Thank
on.
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
Alex.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Alex.
Thank you, Alex. We'll see you later on
Bye.
today.
See you
Bye.
later.
Bye,
Bye.
Douglas. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful day,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you,
Bye.
you
You
too.
too.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
Everybody,
you.
have a great day.
You
Same
See you
too.
here.
Have a
later.
good day.